The British royal family has long been a subject of fascination, capturing the public's attention with their personal lives, relationships, and responsibilities. For generations, their stories have been a consistent source of intrigue, providing an ongoing narrative of how the royal family navigates its role in both tradition and modernity. In recent years, one particular relationship within the royal family has drawn more than the usual share of attention, that between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla, her step-grandmother. This dynamic has captivated the public, especially as the young Princess Charlotte has made it clear she has her own thoughts about the monarchy and the woman she perceives as the current queen consort. The connection between Charlotte and Camilla is undoubtedly one of the most discussed aspects of royal life today. The young princess, now 9 years old, has already made a notable impression on the royal world and seems determined to share her perspective with the public. As the second child of Prince William and Kate Middleton, Princess Charlotte holds a special place in the monarchy's future. She represents a new generation of royals, one that is being raised with a modern approach to both public life and personal development. This contrasts sharply with the path Camilla has taken to get where she is today. While Camilla joined the royal family much later in life, amid significant public scrutiny, Charlotte has grown up in the very heart of the royal spotlight. But what does this generational divide really mean for their relationship? Is there a deeper rift forming, one based on more than just a difference in their ages? And if so, how might that play out within the larger framework of royal duties, tradition, and public expectations? The drama unfolding behind palace doors is something that many are eager to understand. And in this video, we aim to dive into the specifics of the evolving relationship between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla. We will explore how the royal family's changing dynamics are shaping their interactions and what it might mean for the future of the monarchy. But before we delve into the specifics of their relationship, we must first understand the broader context, the generational divide between Charlotte's upbringing and Camilla's royal journey. Princess Charlotte, now 9 years old, occupies a significant role in the royal family as the second child of Prince William and Kate Middleton, the Prince and Princess of Wales. In many ways, she represents the future of the British monarchy. As the granddaughter of King Charles III and Queen Camilla, Charlotte is part of the new generation of royals who are expected to carry the institution forward into a modern era. Her position is pivotal, not only as a member of the royal family, but also as part of a lineage that will shape the monarchy's evolution. From the moment of her birth, Charlotte has been immersed in the public eye, raised in an environment where royal duties and public scrutiny go hand in hand. Charlotte's early years have been markedly different from those of her step-grandmother, Queen Camilla. The story of Camilla's path into the royal family is one that contrasts sharply with the seamless integration of Charlotte into her royal role. While Charlotte has grown up surrounded by the traditional trappings of the monarchy, her childhood has been shaped by the modern values of her parents, William and Kate, who are committed to raising their children with a sense of normalcy despite their royal status. This focus on emotional warmth, groundedness, and mental health contrasts with the rigid royal traditions that have defined Camilla's public life. Queen Camilla, on the other hand, joined the royal family at a much later stage in her life and was thrust into the public eye amid significant controversy. Her relationship with King Charles III, which was previously secret and controversial, caused public outcry, especially after Diana's tragic death. It took decades for Camilla to win over the public, and even now, her role as queen consort remains a subject of division. In contrast, Charlotte, raised with a certain degree of openness and relatability, does not carry the same weight of public suspicion and scrutiny. She has, instead, grown up in an environment where emotional expression and family values are paramount, and the royal family's image has undergone a shift toward a more approachable and authentic demeanor. This generational divide is central to understanding the complex dynamic between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla. While Charlotte is part of a new era of royal life, one that places an emphasis on warmth, relatability, and mental well-being, Camilla's approach to her royal duties is deeply rooted in the traditions of the monarchy. Her path to becoming queen consort was marked by a long process of acceptance, one that involved navigating the intense public scrutiny surrounding her marriage to Charles. She has worked hard to adhere to royal formalities and uphold the standards expected of a queen, despite the complicated legacy of her early years. For Charlotte, however, The monarchy's modern evolution has shaped her expectations and understanding of royal life. Raised by parents who have emphasized mental health and family connection, Charlotte is accustomed to a world where personal warmth and authenticity are highly valued. Her interactions with Camilla, who has spent decades honing a much more formal and restrained public persona, often appear to highlight the stark contrast between these two generations. In public appearances, Charlotte is often seen engaging openly with her parents and siblings, exuding warmth and confidence. But when she is near Camilla, observers have noted that Charlotte's demeanor becomes more reserved and distant, as if unsure how to interact with her step-grandmother. Camilla, for her part, is a figure who exudes regal authority and a strong sense of tradition. Her role in the royal family is one defined by duty and adherence to formality. Despite her efforts to soften her image in recent years, especially after her marriage to Charles, Camilla still embodies the stoic, often distant qualities that have traditionally been associated with the monarchy. These differences in upbringing and expectations, Charlotte's emotionally open and modern approach to family life versus Camilla's adherence to a more rigid, formal royal existence, may help explain the apparent disconnect between the two women. This generational difference is not just about different approaches to family life. It also speaks to the broader shift within the monarchy itself. The royal family has long been a symbol of continuity, but in recent years, it has had to adapt to the changing times, incorporating more modern values and practices into its royal duties. Prince William and Kate Middleton have played a key role in this evolution, striving to modernize the image of the monarchy while still honoring its centuries-old traditions. The way they raise their children is a clear reflection of this balance, making sure that Charlotte and her siblings understand their royal responsibilities while also prioritizing their personal development and emotional well-being. In contrast, Queen Camilla's own journey has been marked by adaptation, but her integration into the royal family was more a matter of survival than choice. She entered the monarchy at a time when public opinion was overwhelmingly negative, and her relationship with Charles was scandalized by their extramarital affair. Over time, Camilla has worked to reshape her image, but it was a long and difficult process that involved constant scrutiny. For someone like Charlotte, who has been raised in a household where authenticity and openness are the norm, Camilla's more formal, sometimes distant demeanor may seem out of place. This, in turn, has likely contributed to the tensions and misunderstandings that seem to surface during their interactions. Charlotte's public persona, which reflects both her upbringing and the changing norms of the royal family, stands in stark contrast to the more traditional expectations that Camilla represents. At royal events, Charlotte often exudes a sense of confidence and independence that is characteristic of her generation. Yet, when it comes to her interactions with Camilla, those same qualities sometimes appear muted, as if Charlotte is unsure how to bridge the gap between her own understanding of royal life and the expectations imposed by her step-grandmother's more formal approach. As we examine the generational dynamic between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla, it becomes clear that their relationship is shaped by more than just personal interactions. It reflects the broader evolution of the monarchy itself. Charlotte's generation, with its focus on emotional connection and openness, is moving away from the strict formalities of past generations, while Camilla, who grew up in a world defined by tradition, has had to navigate the complexities of royal life in a more rigid, often calculated manner. This clash of values and experiences may explain some of the tensions that have emerged between the two women, and why Charlotte is so intent on making her own voice heard. The British royal family has long been a symbol of tradition, with its time-honored rituals, rules, and customs that have been passed down through generations. But as society continues to evolve, so too does the monarchy. In recent years, the royal family has faced increasing pressure to adapt to modern values, balancing the centuries-old expectations of their roles with the demands of an ever-changing public. The generational divide between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla is a stark reflection of this ongoing transformation, where new norms are emerging alongside more traditional ones. At the heart of this transformation is the way in which the younger members of the royal family, like Princess Charlotte, are being raised. Prince William and Kate Middleton, as parents, have made it clear that they want to raise their children with a sense of normalcy and emotional well-being, despite their royal status. This modern approach stands in direct contrast to more formal, duty-bound upbringing that Queen Camilla experienced. Camilla having joined the royal family in a much more turbulent time, was forced to adapt to its highly rigid and hierarchical structure, which emphasized a more controlled, formal public image. The shift toward a more modern monarchy is evident in how William and Kate parent their children. Their approach is grounded in a desire to make their children's lives as normal as possible, despite their royal obligations. From taking Charlotte and her siblings on regular outings to keeping their parenting style informal and accessible, William and Kate have demonstrated a preference for connecting with their children on an emotional level, rather than simply following royal protocol. For example, the couple has been vocal about the importance of mental health and making sure that their children feel supported, a value that has not traditionally been emphasized within the monarchy. This modern approach to parenting is one of the key factors that sets Princess Charlotte apart from her step-grandmother, Queen Camilla. Raised in an environment where emotional connection and relatability are prioritized, Charlotte has developed a sense of confidence and autonomy that is reflective of the values that William and Kate hold dear. Her interactions with the royal public reflect this openness, as she is often seen engaging warmly with her parents and siblings, offering a glimpse into a more personable side of royal life. However, this approach also creates tension when Charlotte interacts with members of the royal family who embody the more traditional values that Camilla represents. Queen Camilla, in contrast, entered the royal family under far more difficult circumstances. Her marriage to King Charles was fraught with scandal, and her journey to becoming queen consort was a gradual one, requiring her to overcome the public's negative perception of her. For many years, she was seen as the other woman in the eyes of the public, especially following her affair with Charles during his marriage to Princess Diana. This shadow has loomed large over her role within the royal family and has shaped her public persona in ways that have been difficult to escape. Unlike the young, emotionally connected royals like Charlotte, Camilla's position was cemented by a strict adherence to royal decorum and formality, qualities that have been essential to her acceptance within the royal fold. While Camilla has worked hard to become a respected figure within the royal family, her more rigid approach to royal duties stands in stark contrast to Charlotte's more relaxed upbringing. Charlotte's parents, William and Kate, have been vocal about their commitment to ensuring that their children grow up in a way that feels grounded and authentic, with a focus on family values and mental well-being. This has led to a more open, emotionally connected dynamic between Charlotte and her parents, with regular outings and formal moments, and an emphasis on understanding one's feelings. For Charlotte, this has created a framework where she feels free to express herself, whether in public or in private. But this more relaxed royal upbringing is not universally embraced within the family. Queen Camilla's adherence to royal tradition, as well as her focus on maintaining the monarchy's image of propriety, sometimes leads to a disconnect between her and the younger generation. While Camilla's dedication to royal duties is commendable, her interactions with Charlotte sometimes appear strained, as if the two women are operating in different worlds. Charlotte, having grown up in an environment where emotional connection is central, may find Camilla's formality difficult to navigate, especially during public appearances. The tension between these two approaches to royal life has been most visible in the way Charlotte and Camilla interact during public events. Charlotte's body language, often more relaxed and open, is a stark contrast to Camilla's more reserved and formal demeanor. While Charlotte is frequently seen engaging warmly with her parents and siblings, her interactions with Camilla can sometimes seem distant or detached. This could be attributed to the different ways in which each of them understands their roles within the royal family. Charlotte's youthful innocence and modern upbringing may make her more inclined to see the royal family as a unit that values emotional connection, while Camilla, having spent years conforming to the monarchy's rigid structures, may struggle to relate to Charlotte's more contemporary approach. Despite the differences in their upbringing, both women occupy important roles within the royal family. Camilla, as queen consort, represents the continuity of the monarchy, embodying the traditional values that have sustained the royal family for centuries. Charlotte, on the other hand, represents the future of the monarchy, one where the values of empathy, emotional health, and authenticity may play a larger role in shaping the public's view of the royal family. This generational clash between tradition and modernity is not unique to Charlotte and Camilla. It is a broader reflection of the challenges faced by the royal family as they adapt to an increasingly modern world. One of the most interesting aspects of this generational shift is how it impacts the monarchy's public image. While the royal family has traditionally been viewed as a symbol of stability and continuity, the younger generation is challenging these notions by introducing a more relatable and emotionally connected approach to public life. This has led to a shift in how the monarchy is perceived, especially by younger generations who are more attuned to issues like mental health, authenticity, and emotional connection. In the case of Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla, this shift in royal norms has created a unique dynamic. Charlotte, as a symbol of the monarchy's future, is growing up in a world where public appearances are not just about fulfilling royal duties, but also about fostering personal connections with the public. Camilla, as queen consort, is tasked with maintaining the dignity of the monarchy, but her journey to acceptance within the royal family has been marked by a different set of challenges. These contrasting approaches to royal life are at the heart of the tension between Charlotte and Camilla, as both women try to navigate their respective roles within the ever-changing landscape of the British monarchy. Over the years, the British royal family has been the subject of intense public scrutiny, with every gesture, interaction, and appearance carefully observed and analyzed by both the media and the public. The relationship between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla has been no exception, drawing attention during several high-profile moments. These public incidents, small as they may seem on the surface, have sparked widespread discussion about the underlying dynamics of their relationship, fueling rumors and speculation about any tensions or discomfort that may exist between the two. One of the most widely discussed incidents occurred during the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022. It was a somber, highly formal occasion attended by royals from around the world, and many were focused on the ceremony's gravity. However, in the midst of proceedings, a small but telling moment between Princess Charlotte and her elder brother, Prince George, drew the attention of royal watchers. The two young royals were standing alongside their parents, Prince William and Kate Middleton, as they paid their respects to Queen Elizabeth II. At one point, reports suggested that Prince George pinched Charlotte, causing her to exclaim, "Ouch!" loudly and glare at him in response. While the interaction was completely natural for any pair of siblings, it stood out against the backdrop of the somber ceremony. What really caught the public's eye, however, was a reaction of Queen Camilla, who was reportedly standing nearby. According to insiders, she seemed visibly irritated by Charlotte's outburst, and her immediate response was to instruct Kate Middleton to take Charlotte aside. Some observers interpreted this as a reprimand for Charlotte's behavior, viewing Camilla's reaction as overly severe for a young child who was navigating the emotional weight of a highly publicized event. While many defended Camilla's actions as necessary to maintain the formality of the occasion, others criticized her for failing to acknowledge the natural behavior of children in such emotionally charged circumstances. This incident at the funeral brought to the forefront a larger issue: Camilla's perceived role as a guardian of royal propriety. For many, her response to Charlotte's outburst symbolized her commitment to maintaining the decorum expected of a royal figure. However, for others, it highlighted the generational divide between Charlotte, who was raised in an environment that encourages emotional expression and relatability, and Camilla, who has long adhered to the strict formalities of royal life. In some ways, this tension between the two women became emblematic of the ongoing shift in royal norms, where modern approaches to emotional expression sometimes clash with the traditional values that have historically defined the monarchy. Another notable incident occurred during the coronation of King Charles III in May 2023. This grand occasion, filled with centuries-old traditions and pageantry, provided another moment for royal watchers to scrutinize the dynamics between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla. During the ceremony, Charlotte, along with her elder brother George, took part in the formal greeting of King Charles and Queen Camilla. While Prince George's curtsy to King Charles was flawless, Charlotte's attempt to curtsy seemed slightly less graceful, and many noticed that she did not direct her curtsy toward Queen Camilla. While the incident could easily be attributed to nerves or simply a young child's hesitation in such a grand, intimidating setting, it was nevertheless interpreted by some as a subtle snub. Many royal observers wondered if Charlotte's decision not to curtsy directly to Camilla signified discomfort or reluctance to fully acknowledge her step-grandmother. Was this an innocent misstep, or did it reflect a deeper, unspoken tension between the young princess and queen consort? Of course, It's important to consider Charlotte's age in these moments. At only 9 years old, Charlotte is still a child, and children often act according to their instincts or emotions rather than through calculated thought. However, the scrutiny of her actions, no matter how innocent, underscores the pressure that comes with being a member of the royal family. Every small interaction is analyzed for deeper meanings, and even seemingly trivial moments are subject to intense public interpretation. This theme of public perception has become increasingly important as the royal family navigates its changing role in the modern world. The younger generation of royals, including Charlotte, has been raised with a heightened awareness of the public gaze. Social media has amplified the royal family's every move, with online commentators and body language experts weighing in on their interactions, often assigning meaning to the most subtle gestures. In the case of Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla, these moments of public interaction have been dissected to reveal perceived tensions or differences between the two women, contributing to a narrative that may not always be an accurate reflection of their private relationship. One aspect of this public dynamic that stands out is the subtle differences in body language between Charlotte and Camilla during royal events. Observers have noted that Charlotte tends to engage more warmly with her immediate family, including her parents and siblings, while her interactions with Camilla are often more reserved or distant. At public events, Charlotte can be seen standing closer to her parents, maintaining eye contact and offering warm smiles, while her posture around Camilla may appear more formal or distant. These small cues in body language have fueled speculation about the nature of their relationship, with some suggesting that Charlotte's lack of warmth toward Camilla is a sign of discomfort or reluctance to embrace her step-grandmother fully. Psychologists and body language experts often weigh in on these royal dynamics, suggesting that such cues may reflect deeper familial tensions. It's well known that step-grandparents face unique challenges in forming close relationships with their step-grandchildren, especially when a child is growing up in the public eye. For Charlotte, whose early childhood was shaped by the tragic loss of her maternal grandmother, Princess Diana, and the ever-present shadow of her legacy, navigating her relationship with Camilla might feel complicated. Given the history between Camilla and Princess Diana, it's possible that Charlotte's interactions with her step-grandmother are influenced by the complex family dynamics surrounding Diana's memory. Despite these moments of perceived tension, it's important to recognize that public incidents like these are often the product of the intense scrutiny placed on the royal family. For the individuals involved, these interactions may not be as dramatic as they seem. Charlotte's interactions with Camilla, while closely watched, may simply reflect the normal growing pains that children experience as they navigate complex family relationships. The public, however, often reads these moments through a more magnified lens, interpreting them as signs of larger issues within the royal family. As we've seen, the relationship between Princess Charlotte and Queen Camilla is anything but simple. Shaped by history, generational differences, and the intense public gaze, their dynamic continues to evolve in fascinating ways. But beyond the headlines and moments of tension, it's clear that Charlotte, even at a young age, is developing her own sense of who she is within this royal family, and she's not afraid to speak her truth. As the monarchy continues to change, we can only imagine how the younger generation will influence its future. What do you think? Could Princess Charlotte's honesty and independence bring a new era of openness to the royal family? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more royal insights. Until next time, take care and stay curious.